So this can get a little bit challenging. You know that in order to add two fractions, you need to have the same denominators, the same bottoms. So the way we find the same bottoms, because these bottoms here do not look anything alike. In order to have the same bottoms, a factor of 1 has got to be a factor of the least common denominator. So here's how I think about it. Let's find the factors. So the bottom of the first, we can factor out a 2. Sorry, this isn't so clear. And for the second fraction, we can factor that into two binomials, x minus 3 times x plus 2. Now, I think of denominators as whiny children and who always wants what the other one has. So if you look at the bottom of this first fraction right over here, this one is jealous of this because this one has an x minus 3 and this guy doesn't. So let's give him the x minus 3. But if I multiply the bottom by x minus 3, I have to multiply the top by x minus 3. And we're going to act like that's in parentheses. This second fraction over here is screaming bloody murder because the other denominator has a 2 and this one doesn't have a 2. So let's give them the darn 2. But if we give it on the bottom, we have to give it on the top. And we're doing this by multiplication. So now let's see what we have here. So on the bottom of the first one, we have 2. We have an x minus 3. We have an x plus 2. But our top, now don't forget this 3 gets distributed. So we're going to have 3x minus 9. For a second fraction, in our numerator we're going to have 10, and in the bottom we're going to have the 2, the x minus 3, and the x plus 2. So now that the bottoms are the same, we can add the top. So we're going to keep the bottoms, which we can only do if they are the same, hence all that work. And on the top we're going to have, let's see, we're going to have 3x, and then we're going to have a negative 9 plus 10. And when we combine like terms, we can't do anything with the 3x. It doesn't have anything to combine with, but the negative 9 plus the 10 is going to give us plus 1. So there are some things that we should be remembering here. Number 1, the first thing you need to do is to factor the denominators. And then the second thing you need to do is you need to make sure that the denominators have the same factors. They need to be the same. Remember, they're kind of like whiny children. What the other one has, the other one wants. So you need to make sure that each bottom has the same factors. Then you need to fix it. And you're going to fix it by multiplying each fraction by some form of 1. So again, you're looking to see what you need to supplement to each denominator. But if you multiply the bottom by something, you have to do the same thing to the top. Number 4, you'll notice that we keep the bottom in factored form, but you end up distributing on the top. We multiply on the top. And because when we keep the bottom and add the top, what that means is that when we add the top, we're going to be combining like terms. And in order to combine like terms, we need to have things written kind of like polynomials, a string of terms.